Hey there, welcome back in. I'm Jonathan Acosta, joined here by our WGRZ Bills insider Vic Carucci, as we continue to take a look at the biggest storylines facing these Buffalo Bills as they get ready to undertake training camp over at St. John Fisher. And next up on our list, Vic, let's talk about Dalton Kincaid. Last year, he was the rookie first-round wide receiver that everyone was excited to see. We didn't really know how big of a role he'd have in this offense, considering the Bills still had Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. By the end of the season, though, he was one of the top playmakers for the Bills. He ends his 2023 rookie season with 73 receptions for 673 yards and 2 touchdowns. Certainly the Bills are hoping he has a bigger role in year 2 in this offense.
I don't think there's any question that the Bills are counting on Dalton Kincaid to step up a lot in year 2. He started to make that progress toward the end of his rookie season for sure, and was becoming more and more incorporated in what the Bills were doing and showing consistent effectiveness with that. In year 2, though, this guy is expected to take a giant leap, and he's capable of doing so. And I think the offense will be designed to get the ball in his hands as much as possible. I think in many ways they're going to follow that template of the Kansas City Chiefs and try to utilize Dalton Kincaid the way Travis Kelce is the lead guy for the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at the Bills' passing game, there really isn't anyone in the entire group of receivers that you say is going to step up and be the guy. I think it's a lot of complementary pieces there, but the guy that they want to emphasize will be Dalton Kincaid.
When we talk about Kincaid making a leap here in year 2, is it from a production standpoint? Is it from a way that he's deployed and maybe what they have them do on the field? What do you envision a leap for Kincaid looking like this season?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Number one, it is production for sure. The targets will go up, and of course the expectation is that he will catch a good portion of those targets. And then it's also the design of the offense that allows him to make yards after catch, make plays, and stretch the field where he can, stretch the defense where he can, a lot of those seam routes. It won't be, the traditional sort of short intermediate tight end routes, although that will be part of the package. But the other thing, too, is the mental part of the game, is Dalton Kincaid figuring out, number one, how to gain more separation in coverage, how to find those seams and gaps, how to take advantage of the fact that the defense has to worry about other people out there, the receivers, for instance, and Josh Allen, the chemistry between them. That was improving as Kincaid's rookie year went on, but it's going to have to take another step, and it likely will, because of the work they've done in the offseason, because of Josh Allen's better understanding of what Dalton Kincaid is all about.
And Vic, something I'm interested in seeing is like how that works within the 2 tight end system that we thought the Bills were going to go heavy with at the beginning of last season. It's something they tried to employ. But Kincaid didn't really get going until a few weeks into the year, maybe a month and a half in, where Dawson Knox starts to get a little bit banged up. Dawson Knox ends up missing a little bit of time. And then Kincaid really takes off from there. With Knox and Kincaid healthy to start the season, how do you envision maybe Joe Brady trying to put those 2 pieces together, maybe have them playing like the way maybe the Bills envisioned they would at the beginning of last season?
I think last season it was more a case of maybe 1.5 tight ends. They really weren't seeing Kincaid as a fully developed guy, and he wasn't as a rookie. Started to grow in that direction as the year went on. But now I think those 2 tight end formations with Knox as part of that, of course, will have fully 2 tight ends involved. Now, Knox is more of the inline blocking guy. Kincaid is going to be the move guy, but there are going to be instances where Kincaid is going to have to get involved with helping to block on the run game. Plays and looks that will have 2 tight ends on the field. Now, they can switch that around and use other combinations, of course. But I think there have to be plays where the defense is guessing as to what's going to to happen or the options that are created by having the two of them on the field. Don't forget about Dawson Knox as a receiver. He can absolutely be an impact player, and I think the two of them will feed off of each other quite a bit, Knox and Kincaid, in terms of the types of routes that they'll be running when they're on the field as two tight ends. But when they're out there, again, the option exists to hand the ball off to James Cook or for Josh Allen to carry it himself. I mean, there's a lot of ways that the Bills can attack defenses, and the more people you put out there, the more combinations of personnel that are out there, the more confusion that it can cause for the defense.
Very quickly, Vic, we talk about Kincaid making that leap this season. Do you think he's more likely to lead the team this year in receptions, in receiving yards, or receiving touchdowns?
I'd be surprised if he didn't have at least 2 or 3 of those categories where he's the top guy. I think he will figure into every game plan in a big way. And I think, again, defenses will pay more attention to him as they see the Bills utilizing him. But he's up to that challenge. This is a guy who, at the collegiate level, elevated to the point where he was a dangerous targeted guy as a receiving tight end, and in some ways more of a bigger receiver, bigger slot guy than a true tight end. I think, remember too, as a pro, his body is changing, and as he's getting older and involved in a weight training program, diet program that the NFL, of course, will bring to a player that he didn't experience so much as a college player. You're going to see a different looking Dalton Kincaid physically and mentally in this training camp.
Definitely excited to see what he can do this season. I know Bills fans are excited to see that. Fantasy football managers having Dalton Kincaid high up on the tight end rankings. Certainly a player to watch for this Bills offense this season. They get training camp underway July 24th in Pittsburgh.